Hey guys, if you love football, you're gonna love this. This is Gator Talk with your host Alex Perez and Agent Green. Let's head back to the boys from the Disability TV Network studios and your host of Gator Talk, Alex Perez and Agent Green. Take it away, boys. Are we recording now? Yes, we are. Hey guys, and welcome to this episode 8 of Gator Talk. And now, here's your host of the Gator Talk show from the Disability TV Network's studios. Let's forward over to the boys back in the studio. Here's Alex Perez and Adrian Green with Gator Talk.
Excellent. I'm Adrian Green, and I am with the host, Alex Perez. And this is episode 8, where we'll be giving you the latest updates on Gator football. And we have news, stats, and key nuggets that we'll be sharing with you today. And I am a honored guest on the show, as always, and I appreciate the invite, Alex, and we appreciate you considering us. And it's a blessing, as always, to be able to step in and share what we was able to find out with you and everybody else on the Disability Network. And as always, let's get to the show.
So how are you doing tonight? Before we talk about this debacle.
Well, I'm doing excellent now. It's Sunday, and I had a chance to recuperate and recover. So, how are you feeling this Sunday night?
Very upset about the Gators outcome against Georgia, but you know the Gators cannot win it all. But overall, I'm doing good. So let's try to move on, you know, and hopefully the Gators will come out against, what team do we have next?
We got Arkansas next. Arkansas Razorbacks.
All right, but let's talk about this Tennessee game offhand, if you don't mind. I mean, I know this is kind of and heartbreaking loss out of J- Jacksonville, but over to Adrian Green with
Well, once again,
with
we witnessed what everybody thought would happen, and what we saw Saturday was a result of proper coach management, player development, recruiting, hiring a really good staff that knows how to develop players and send them into the league. Um, I will say this in defense of Billy Napier. I don't think Billy Napier is the problem. I don't think Billy Napier is the problem. Um, I actually don't think his play calling is the problem. Now is it thing, and I'm not here to absolve Billy of any of his wrongdoings because Billy, it was a lot of things that Billy could have done better. He'll tell you that. Um, I felt like it was some calls that he could have made that maybe would have changed the game just a little. We got some tough calls from the referees, but that didn't impact the result of the game either. Um, Florida did not lose the game on a 4th and 1 play. Florida lost this game because they just lost to a better, inferior opponent. For Florida was inferior to them rather, and they just they went up against a program that's been recruiting at elite level now for almost 8 years. Uh, the Gators went up against a team that was star studded, 4 stars, 5 stars, and if it's a 3 star on there, it's a high 3. And the Gators just I can't say they got outclassed. I will say that they got outcoached. Um, they got outplayed, and the Gators made too many mistakes to have an opportunity to win this game.
okay, great great point as always. I just figured I I would I would bring up the Gators image and the Georgia's image since we're talking about it. But um, so as as we was talking about before before we went on air, partner, um, this this game this game um is a was a was a debacle, and it seemed like the Gators couldn't do anything on offense or or defense, or for that matter. It 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 feels like they had a couple penalties. You know what I'm saying? Again. So so what is your thoughts?
Well, I agree with everything that you said. You hit the nail on the head. Um, I mean, it wasn't overly. bad game as far as procedure is concerned. But they did have some timely penalties that put them in some situations. And third down conversion, Florida is the worst third down conversion team in the SEC at this particular moment. But they do convert a lot of fourth downs as well. So you had a matchup of a team that's really bad on third downs versus a team that's really good on third downs. And it just so happened to turn out the team that's really good on third downs prevailed over the team that's not really good on third down. And you made another significant note that they didn't score many points, so the offense looked lackluster. And I will say this: after Florida came out and hit Georgia in the mouth, 7-0, my thinking was, I hope that this is not the only points we score for the rest of the game. I say if they get the ball back and they go and get 3 or score again, we got a really good chance to make some noise in this game. But when I seen Georgia go down, get 3, we got the ball back. We was driving, had a penalty, had a setback, had to punt the ball on third down eventually, and Georgia went back down and scored and took the lead. That's when I was like, okay, so we got to do something with the ball this third possession. And when we got the ball and they took Trey away from us, once they took Trey Wilson the third, once they took him away, I knew we was in trouble because they said, Kirby was saying, you can beat us if anybody else on your roster can beat us. But we will not let Trey Wilson the third beat us. You're going to have to choose somebody else. And when he did that, which is Bill Belichick-esque, he takes away your best player and make you beat him with somebody else. When he did that, I knew we were in trouble because they took away Trey Wilson. Even though we force-fed him, he took him away because Kirby know that Trey Wilson III is going to be a beast. He's a game changer, but he also know that Trey Wilson III is the only true playmaker that Florida has at this particular time. They do have a couple of freshman wide receivers that's like Andy Jean is really, really good. He's had some injury history, so he haven't been able to play as much as he would like, or he just clearly don't know the playbook as well as Eugene did. And Eugene is a late enrollee. He's a summer A or B enrollee, and Andy Jean was a early enrollee, and even Aiden Mizell was an early enrollee. And Trey came in at the last minute, and he outperformed both of them. I mean, this guy was just a game changer. So, when we're talking about lackluster offense, I mean, it was more about Georgia defense than it was about Florida offense. And like I say, Billy could have called the game better, but Billy's play calling is not the reason why Florida lost this game. Florida lost this game due to attrition, due to departures, due to draft selections, due to transfers. And even Billy said it himself. The players that Dan Mullen had on this particular roster were not Power 5 players. They didn't have the talent. They didn't have the fortitude. These are not Power Five division players, you know, and not saying that they didn't deserve to be at Florida. It's just when you look at the body of work overall, these players that Dan Mullen brought in, the majority of them, they didn't pan out. You know, they weren't good fits for the culture at Florida, and they wasn't good fits for the positions that he had. So it was a poor recruiting job by McElwain, poor recruiting job by Dan Mullen. Billy Napier is picking up the pieces, and the best players on Florida roster are the players that Billy Napier brought in. So that lets you know where the state of the program is. This is not Billy Napier does not stack up against Kirby. This was my program is better than your program. My recruiting is more elite than your recruiting has been for the past 6 years. My coaching staff is better than your coaching staff. Even with the 100 staff members that you have, probably need to get 100 more. And I don't mean to be sarcastic, but I'm just, being cynical. But I will say that's what that was. This had nothing to do with Graham Mertz, none of that. It wasn't about individuals. This was a program win for Georgia. This had nothing to do with individuals. The best players on Florida roster, I say it again, are the freshmen. The 11 or 12 freshmen that get on that field and try and tackle grown men that been in a college program for the last 3 to 4 years, 4 stars, 5 stars, elite defensive linemen, elite linebackers, elite safeties, elite offensive line, elite quarterback recruiting, subpar running back with supposedly elite wide receivers without Brock Bowers, and we still couldn't slow them down. We couldn't stop them. We caused a couple of third down punts, but when it mattered, Georgia did whatever Georgia wanted to do. When we needed a stop, we couldn't stop them. When Georgia needed a 3rd and 11 or 12, they took 20. When they needed 3rd and 5, they took 10. So whatever Georgia wanted to do, they did. So for everybody that's out there, don't be mad at Billy Napier. Don't say fire all the coaches. It won't matter. Now, could Billy Napier have done things better in the transfer portal? Yes. Could Billy Napier have went after elite players? Yes. Is Billy Napier paying the price for not landing some of those recruits and some of those guys in the portal? Yes. Billy Napier is paying the price. Kentucky kicked us in the teeth because he couldn't land elite defensive players, elite offensive players in the portal. You might say, well, what if he got a better quarterback? Outside of Ricky Pearsall and Trey Wilson III, who else is getting off coverage with space to throw the ball? Khalil Jackson is talented, but he's a system player. Andy Jean is a freshman. Mizell is a freshman. Trey Wilson III and Pearsall are your game breakers. Trevor Etienne, game breaker. Montreal, a really good player from the Sun Belt. That's it. Etienne is elite, but he's stuck behind Johnson. So, and Johnson is a really good running back, and you need Johnson. But is he more elite than ETN? No. Bordenham, he coming along. He's not elite yet. So we talking about elite versus average to all right. Our defense is all right. Georgia defense is elite. What they did to Florida, they can do to anybody. You ain't in the top 10. You can't push Georgia around. You don't have the players. We tried. They tried. That's why I'm not mad. I actually am encouraged by what I seen. They fought to the end. And I give you stats later on when we about to finish up, just to kind of show you what I mean.
Well, that's 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 a good point, Adrian. Um, um, back to what you said about e- e- elite players. You know, I I think I'm not trying to get off topic here, but I'm just trying to make my point. I think Tim Tebow, if he was still playing for the Gators today, you know, he would be, you know, um, a, a better player, as this this year's, you know, do you know what I mean? I mean, and 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 Tim Tebow, kind of, you know, kind of kind of known the the you know the players, you know. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, partner, but do you agree what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I totally agree, man. But once again, you talking about an elite quarterback. You see how you keep going back, that theme, it continues to go back to elite. Florida is not elite. We dropped the ball within the last, well, we had two coaches. The last, they showed they showed a clip on ESPN. The last 30 or so games, right, between Georgia and Florida. They showed a clip from the last two, almost 3 years. In that time span, Georgia was 40 and say Georgia was 40 and 1 or 2. Since that time frame, I think Florida was like 12 and 20 or something like that. Like, we've been horrible, bro. The last 3 years, we have been horrible. We have been horrible. I mean, the Jim McElwain was an experiment. It was a Nick Saban disciple, and and Dan Mullen was not much. You can say experiment, but you can't, because Dan Mullen is a hell of a coach. I'm telling you what I know. Dan is a really good X and O coach, but Dan does not have the enthusiasm that's required to recruit elite players. And I don't know if it's an arrogance thing. I don't know if it's a confidence thing. And I give Dan the benefit of the doubt. And let's just say he is super confident that I can take a regular 3-star and turn him into a 5-star. The problem with that theory is you can't take every 3-star and turn them into a 5, because it's not realistic. It's not realistic. And another thing is, we keep going back to it. We talking about elite players. Now, with that being said, we had an all right transition class, Billy first year coming in. This second recruiting class for 2024 is ranked number 3. Now, you mentioned it. You alluded to it. Tim Tebow being an elite quarterback. He does have an elite quarterback committed in DJ Lagway, who may contend for the starting job. Problem is, the 2025, well, the 2024 schedule is atrocious. It's egregious how hard it is. It is one of the hardest schedules in college football next year. And 2025 is not much better. Now, why does Florida schedule these schedules so hard is beyond me. It's of utmost consideration to play top talent, but when you got a schedule that's so hard, even an average team can't navigate it. This is the University of Florida, and we should expect nothing but a championship or bust. But man, that requires the coach to have to hit the transfer portal and hit it hard, get on a recruiting trail and recruit hard. If we give Billy Napier enough time, I think he can bring the players in. But what Billy got to understand, as it was showed on TV Saturday, this is a line of scrimmage league. If Billy does not get top talent on the offensive and defensive line in the trenches, Florida will be bad for another 2 to 3 years. You have to get elite talent in the trenches. This is a line of scrimmage game. We may have more talent than Kentucky, but they had a better D-line, way more physical, nasty, and they O-line was young, developing, but big, mean, brawly, grown men. And they kicked us in the teeth, just in the trenches. Kentucky said, you can't stop the run. And until you stop it, we not going to stop running the ball. Now, we slowed Georgia down, but they gashed us from time to time. But for the most part, we stopped it. And then what happened next? They go to throw on the ball, and we can't cover them. Our number one cornerback, Marshall, don't look like a number one quarterback. Our second quarterback, the second best quarterback, cornerback, what's his name? Jalen Kimber. He done had 2 really bad performances at cornerback. If that's the best that we got, I'm all right with playing a freshman and taking our lumps and bumps. That right there, that's unacceptable. That's not Gator football. You get beat every time the ball come your way. That's not Gator football. That's back to Jim McElwain and Dan Mullen. That's why they gone. And if we can't get better defensive play, defense. I can go on and on and on about defense. I just wish that we were a lot more physical. But like I say, once again, I can say whatever I want to say. It boils down to their offense was just elite. The offensive line is elite. Florida is all right on the D line. We are all right. We're not even, we may be average. That's it. Average versus elite. Tim Tebow said it best, and I give this back to you. Tim Tebow said, uh, talent, hard work will outlast talent if talent don't work hard. So, do we have a hard working team? They don't quit. So they got heart. Do they work hard? I won't say they don't. Are they elite? Not at all. Are they disruptive? Not at all. Are they aggressive? They try to be. Are they physical? They try to be. So they try. You know, I'm not mad at the defense because they tried. They just not elite. We thought they was, but they're not. They're not elite. And that's okay. That's okay. Let's just get ready for Arkansas. Let's lick our wounds. And matter of fact, I'll give you the stats before we close out. And the stats that I got for you is Georgia, Carson Beck. I think he is a redshirt junior or something like that. He was 19 for 28. 19 or 28 throwing the ball for 315 yards and I believe 3 touchdowns. If I ain't, it could be more, maybe 3 touchdowns. Their leading receiver was Lad McConkey, and he went 13. He went. Lad McConkey had 6 receptions. Now listen to this stat. He had 6 receptions. 6 for 135 yards. 135 yards to one receiver. The running back, Edwards, had 16 carries for 95 yards and 2 touchdowns. Whew. And for Florida, we had Graham Mertz was 25 of 34. You know, I guess it's pedestrian for Graham Mertz, for 230 yards. Lately, he been lighting it up, but like he said, Graham said it. Graham said they had some players. Your quarterback, the quarterback for the Florida Gators, said they had some dogs. Now, Billy Napier didn't speak on it. He alluded to question, but Graham spoke on it. They had some dogs. I mean, these guys were elite. And this coming from your senior quarterback who been lighting the world on fire. Graham been lighting the world on fire. But he said it out his own mouth. These guys, they got some dogs. And so Montreal Johnson had 9 carries for 82 yards. That's pretty good for Georgia, who don't give up much rushing yards. And Pearsall had 6 catches, just like Lad McConkey. Pearsall had 95 yards. McConkey had 135 yards. And that just kind of draws a comparison to when you got an elite offensive line and you can stand back there and throw the ball to all your receivers. And he got 135, and it didn't even seem like he caught the ball that many times. But that just goes to show, you know. And our next best player was Trey Wilson III, a freshman, just was playing high school last year. He had 11 catches for 79 yards and 1 touchdown, and he set the school record for a freshman that had the most receptions in a Florida Georgia rivalry. And so we scored in the first quarter, second quarter, no points, third quarter, no points, fourth quarter, a little bit of points, not much, 13 points. So overall, man, we got our behind handed to us, but that second quarter, third quarter, nothing. I mean, even if we kick the field goal here or there, we 6 points better than we was last year. So the score would have probably been like 26-43. Last year it was 42-20. This year is 43-20. So we 1 point less because we didn't kick the field goals. We had an opportunity to kick a couple field goals. We didn't do it because Billy knew our defense can't slow those guys down. And you don't win a game like this by kicking field goals. So I'm not mad at Billy. I'm not mad at Billy. He did what he thought was the right thing to do. And I'm riding with Billy on this one. I'm going to ride with Billy. Let him get his recruits in next year, and let's see what he can pull out the transfer portal. And maybe we can do what Florida State doing right now. You know, Florida State is loaded with transfers. Do it last long? No. But can it lift up a program to a respectable point? Yes. And that may be what we have to do. We may have to pull some guys out of the transfer portal to lift the program up to a respectable point to where we can look and say, it's great to be a Gator again. When was the last time you said it's great to be a Florida Gator? It's been a long time.
Um, those are great points, Adrian. Um, a a good job as always. Um, um, let 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 me comment on what you said, and you made some great points. You know, um, as we look to next year's schedule of the Florida Gators, they don't make it so easy, partner. They don't make it, you know. Um, can I know this is called Gator Talk, but can we talk about a little bit of the the Seminoles? Um, um, see see the see the Seminoles. They are doing everything right on their defense and offense. You know, I wish we can have a winning team like the Seminoles. You know what I mean? Do you agree?
Oh yeah, most certainly I agree. It's just that um,
Do you think they need to the if you look back of that Georgia game that we seen last night, partner, I believe they had like a like somebody pulling the face mask. One of the Georgia players were pulling the face mask, if you know what I mean.
hmm
And I that and 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 I was like yelling at my TV, you know, these 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 referees that call these games, they they act like they didn't know they didn't know what they didn't know what to do, partner.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I agree.
I mean, I mean, what what can we what can we look for on on the on the next game? And I know we're not for the state. I mean, all these college teams seems to be doing great instead of us, partner. And I don't know what we're doing wrong here. Um, can you give us some thoughts on what you see see what's going on with this Gator team?
Talent, talent, man. It's talent. Simple answer. One word. Talent. Florida has not recruited at the level that Florida State has recruited at. Florida has not recruited at the level of Alabama. I can go on and on. Georgia, Tennessee. I mean, they bringing in better. Everybody has out recruited us when it comes to transfer portal and high school recruiting. And it's not so much as, you know, who you get, but or how you get them, but who you get. You know, if you gonna go in the transfer portal, don't settle for less. Don't settle for average. Go after the best players. Florida State got some dogs out of the portal. We got what we got. It don't mean that they bad players. Graham is a hell of a quarterback. Jackson, he's doing everything he can, but he's not elite. Banks is a young guy, which he gonna be really really good probably next year. But he's a young guy. He's a redshirt freshman. He still got some growing to do. There is no elite. All of the elite talent that we have, once again, and I'm beating a dead horse here. All, and no pun intended, because I would never beat a dead horse. Yeah, I'm just saying. All of our top talent is freshmen. They're young. That's it. And it sucks. And it's going to suck again next year. But we got help coming. We was only supposed to win 5 games this year. We 5-3. We got Arkansas at home. Maybe we can win that game. Bowl eligible. Then we go to LSU. Then we go to Missouri. Then we got Florida State at home. The schedule is atrocious. It is almost insurmountable. How do you find 3 wins within the next 4 weeks? It's going to be so hard to do. We got to win. Saturday is a must win for Billy Napier to get bowl eligible. And next year with the recruits that's coming in, they can help. But you got to hit the transfer portal and bring in some elite. Florida don't have a DN. They don't have a true edge rusher. The edge rusher, Boone, tore his MCL or ACL. He's done for the year. We have no edge. And the only other edge we got is a true freshman. So that's what I'm telling you. It was going to be a tough year from the beginning. That's why I won't allow myself to get too high or too low. I will consistently remain consistent with my approach to this season. Because if not, you'll lose your mind. And that, my friend, is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
And um, that, that's a that's a great point, Adrian. Um, um, do you think um that the Gators might go to go to Atlanta, because people has been saying on TV that a lot of these teams will go to Atlanta, for the.
No, Alex, we had to beat Georgia in order to go to Atlanta. We lost to Georgia, so that's out the window. Yeah, it's over. It's back to let's just have a respectable season. Let's play hard. Let's play for the brand. Play for the name on the back of the jersey. Play for the University of Florida, and try and flip Florida State at the end of the year, which we got to play mistake-free football, and we have to just lay it all out and go to war. Good thing about it, they're gaining great experience. Those young guys will be, I'm telling you, they're going to be better next year. And we bringing in some more talent to help those guys out because we need depth. We need, when we pull out some top guys, we need to be able to bring some top guys in behind them. And we'll have a chance, And before we get out of here, man, I just want to say I appreciate once again you guys listening to Gator Talk with your host Alex Perez and the Disability Network. And once again, it's a privilege and an honor for him to reach out and ask me to come on and be a guest and share whatever insight that we may be able to discover. And so yeah, man, we appreciate it. We love you, man, and we love talking about the Gators. We all wish that they was doing a lot better, but like I say, we not Florida Gators yet. We still baby Gators, and that's what everybody got to remember. We still baby Gators. We got babies out there, and most of these guys was in high school next year. I mean last year. So just be patient with those guys. Be patient with Billy. He's a hell of a recruiter. Give him an opportunity. Let him try and bring in some top talent. We paid him a whole lot of. Well, I didn't bring it. They paid him a whole lot of money, 57 million. It's a $32 million buyout. It's a lot of money. And if they fire Billy now, it'll set the program back another 3 years. So just give the man a chance. Let him try. He trying to do everything he can to make the season respectable. Because he knew, Billy Napier knew that this year was going to be really, really tough for Gator fans. He knew he didn't have elite talent. He did everything in his power to try and bring in top recruits. He's playing those top recruits. He got a quarterback that can manage the game really, really well. He got an offensive line that's not producing at the level we thought they were going to produce. So my plea to you is to be patient with Billy Napier. Please be patient with him. Let him recruit. Wait for DJ Lagway to develop. Let him go in the transfer portal and pull out some elite players. And let's see what he can do with more talent next year, because we got a chance. Just be patient with him. Be patient with him. And once again, Alex, man, I appreciate, you all reaching out to us, man. We are grateful to have you as a host, and as a friend. And man, we appreciate you. We love you. And we want you to have an amazing night. And we look forward to doing it again with Arkansas. And
So, so uh, what is your prediction against um who do we play next? Not LSU, but
Arkansas.
Ark Arkansas. You want me to pull up that? Um,
No, no. We play Arkansas to Saturday at 12 o'clock in the swamp. It's called the blackout game, where everybody that goes to the game have to wear black.
is it this one?
I can't see it down there, but it may be. That's the game where the Gators gonna be wearing black alternative uniforms for the first time in history. And so, my
Okay.
prediction for that game is, if Florida comes out and play like Florida's supposed to play, Florida, if the defense shows up, Florida can easily put 28 or 31 points on the board. So I would have to go with Montrell and ETN and Trey Wilson having a huge game, and Wicker Pitt. Those four people on offense, I think, as long as Billy focused the offense around Mertz having an explosive passing day, Pearsall, Eugene doing their jobs, Montrell going, and if he can find a way to use ETN more, please use ETN more, please, then I think they can win this game 28 to 20. 28-20. That's the best I give them. Because Arkansas do play defense. Or they try to.
I
But if defense don't show up, we could easily lose this game.
um I'm I'm sorry, Adrian. I I I somebody was trying to call me on Messenger. Can you repeat that 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 statement again, please?
Yes. Florida 28-20.
Okay. And 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 once again, guys, this is just our thoughts of how the Gators did. We're not we're not experts of the game. We just give you our thoughts, our an an analysis, and that's all. That's all we can give you for for each game. We're not professionals out there, but well, we try our best, and that's all that matters. But um, Adrian, any closing? Um, hold on. Let me hold on. Any closing any closing remarks um as we as we look ahead for South Carolina?
Well, the only closing remark that I have is just check to see if the Gator football team as a whole, check to see if they come out and play angry. Check to see if they come out and play mad. Let's see if they can brush the dust off their feet and move forward. I mean, you still got games left. It is what it is. You played in an elite Georgia team, and you did all right. You just second and third quarter is where you lost the game. That's okay. Now that you know what playing against elite talent feel like, take that experience and turn it into your fuel. Use your experience of playing against an elite Georgia team. Practice that way. Practice with a chip on your shoulder. Practice with that anger of getting embarrassed in your home state, in front of your family members, in front of your teammates, in front of your coaches. They disrespected you in your own home state. Take that and use it as fuel. And let's see if they come out and play angry football against Arkansas. And that'll let me know what the mindset of the players is. And that'll let me know what the mindset of the coaches is. So let's see if Billy Napier wants to try and hang a half 100, or if he just content with playing clean football and getting out of there with a W. Look for that. And I appreciate you once again, Alex. And it's been a blessing, man. So go Gators. And man, I hope we can pull it out.
And obviously, I agree with everything you said tonight. It's a great job as always, man, and I'll see you for episode 9 next next week. Man, these episodes are going by so quick. I remember when we first started this a, a couple months ago, partner, we was just shooting the 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 the, the pilot episode, and and look at us now.
Yeah. So
It's this thing has been fun. I I have enjoy hearing your in insight as always, man. And I hope that we can do this type of show next year for 2024 if you're interested.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, long as the Lord give me strength, man, I'll be honored, man, to come on and help wherever I can help at.
Okay, okay, guys, this has been episode 8 of Gator Talk. Again, with your host, Alex Perez, behind the camera, pushing all the right buttons, and for my amazing partner in in the crime here, Agent Green. This has been episode 8 of Gator Talk. But until we see you guys again next week versus South Carolina,
Arkansas.
I mean, I mean Arkansas. Excuse me. Before we see you again against Arkansas,
Yes, yes.
uh, we remember, guys, it's it's always great to be a for the Gators whenever we win or lose. That's
Amen.
that's just how the the that's just how the football bounces sometimes, but it's always great to be a Florida Gator whether we win or lose. And again, guys, hang in there with Billy Napier. He will get it together eventually. Just give him some time, guys. Just give him some time. I know he he's trying his best, but that's all Gator fans have to have to know is you gotta be patient with a coach. The Florida program is not gonna be perfect overnight. You know, I mean,
Mhm.
what what do you expect? Gator fans, do you expect the team to be so perfect overnight? I mean, come on, give Billy Napier some time, and that's all I have to say. But thank you for watching, and go Gators.
Go Gators.
Oh.